My name is Steve Green, and I'm the owner of SolidCraft Boats. We're manufacturers of commercial pontoon boats, custom boats, work boats, many things like that. We started SolidCraft Boats in 1999. We started in an old barn, and now we're in here in a real nice facility, and we got the capabilities of building about 100 boats a year. I know that we build probably the best boat out there, and I like that fact, and our quality is probably second to none. Really what we do best here is if somebody comes to us with an idea and they say, can you do it? And most of the time we'll say, yeah, we can figure it out. We do a lot of crazy things, and it's pretty cool when you put it down on paper, then you can make it. The best thing is when your customers get the boat and they love the thing. I'm a very operational guy. Even my other job, I struggled with paperwork and things like that. And I felt the operation was more important than anything else. And so I would work the operation or do some sales. I was kind of a one-man show, and I'd do all those things, and then I wouldn't take time to do the important stuff. We weren't tracking anything. We were just basically giving them numbers and seeing what happened at the end of the day. I was sick for a couple, 2, 3 years, and things didn't get done correctly. And when I got back and started feeling better, I realized that we had a little bit of a mess. At the end of the year, you would be coming into October, November, and you had no idea where you're at. You didn't know what you were making money on. You would do jobs that you thought you were really making money on, but when you got done, you really didn't know. And I didn't like that feeling at all. I was talking to my tenant, and he told me about Katie and Carrie at Evermore. He said, they're the best. He said, I tell you, he said, they're best. He said, I don't have to worry about it. So I decided it was time to give them a call. When we first met, they came in and told me they could fix what we didn't have right. And it wasn't that I didn't trust them, but I was like, it was just, to me, it was just overwhelming trying to figure out how that was going to get accomplished. Once they started taking over and I started seeing progress, it was like just a weight had been lifted off of me. They were at that time, they called themselves accountants, and they do accounting, but they're way more than that. They showed me things that we were doing that didn't make sense. They went back and looked at what had happened before, something that didn't get filed right or done right or this, that, and the other, and made it really easy, actually, for me to understand. I look at them as a partner in this whole thing, and I treat them like they're my CFOs. Like I said, anybody I talk to about what you guys are, I don't just say you're accounting. Basically, you're my office and a resource that I can go to. When I go to sleep every night, I know that it's what it is. I know it's done right, 100%. That's very important. We had a situation to where something wasn't right. They came in and gave me the right advice and got me going the right place. And I realized, I went home and told my wife that day, I said, they really want us to really succeed. I knew how they were going through the books and how they were doing it and how they were presenting it. And it may not have been what I wanted to hear, but they knew that I trusted them enough that they could tell me that, and I would understand, and I would be like, okay, what do we got to do about it? It is very, very hard for me to trust somebody. I've had a couple things go wrong here that I just weren't right. And at first I was like, okay, we'll see how this goes. But I trust them with I'm an open book with them. I'll tell them anything there is because I got that much trust. That they're just not accountants. They immediately become part of your team. I have a trust factor with them that's more than probably any other group that I work with. You can go out and I had an accountant, like I said, a little bit, that did my taxes and did some other stuff. At the end of the day, I still worried about stuff. Now I don't. If you're on the fence about outsourcing it, you just have to realize that the time that you're spending doing book work or financials, and if it's something that might take you 3 hours to do, is time that you can spend on growing your business and doing other stuff.